everybody. Lynette Barbieri here with my fun financial tips, but I have a surprise today. We have a special guest with us that I am excited to introduce you to. I'm here with Brittney Castro, who is patiently waiting for me this morning to get through technical difficulties. Thank you, Brittney.
Of course.
Brittney is a financial planner and a financial guru. She is the co-founder and the CEO of Financially Wise, located in Los Angeles. And I wanted to talk with Brittney today so she could share some of her really fun, cool financial concepts with you. Brittney, I was reading a little bit about you, and I was reading that, your mission is to help people in their 30s and 40s, women, couples, to basically take control and manage their finances in a simple and fun way. And I am in finance for a long time, so I absolutely love that concept, because I know that when you go to speak with people, the first thing is stress, anxiety, right? Don't you feel when you talk to people about that, you get a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety? So I'm sorry. So just tell me, so how do you make it fun and simple?
Yeah, I feel like, I'm a CFP. I've been in the finance industry for 15 years, and I learned quite quickly in the beginning, money doesn't have to be so overwhelming and stressful, but it's really about teaching people the lingo, one, the strategies, and then giving them the confidence so that they can change the way they relate to money. Because I think money is a relationship, and we get to decide how we want to operate with our finances, and we could change it at any given time. So if you've been used to being more stressed out or overwhelmed by money, you can decide today that you're going to learn new ways to be different with your money. So when I say fun and simple, it's not like a la fun and simple, but it is a grounded, no, once you get the tools, learn the lingo, and just keep practicing, it really is quite simple, and you can bring the fun energy into it. But it starts with you. It's not like money's fun. It's like
Right.
you have to create an energy and a relationship with your money to make it fun, to make it engaging, to make it more like a game. And if you mess up or make a mistake, okay, don't beat yourself up, but learn from it, and
Right.
then figure out how do you do it differently next time. Because the reality is, Lynette, you know this, money is around our whole life. So we better freaking enjoy it and figure
Money's
it out.
everything. It is what it is.
It's not going away, So that's what I try to teach people. It's not going away. So figure out how you're going to create a relationship with it where it's not daunting, not stressing you out all the time. Because financial stress, other than medical stress, is one of the worst stresses. Like I know it. It affects your body. It affects your sleep. It
Well, it
affects
physically makes you sick.
it
It's
makes
the
you
number one
sick.
cause of heart attacks in women. It makes you sick.
Yeah, and I just think we don't have to live that way. And if I could just help change it one little iota, help one person maybe think of it differently, then I feel like I'm doing my work in the world.
Thank you. I agree with you 100%. It doesn't have to be so stressful and daunting. I feel horrible when people just have that look of sheer panic on their face when you just start asking them some questions, and it doesn't have to be that. And it's a mindset, like anything else. So how do you tell your clients that it's a mindset, that they have to, like, what tips do you give them to help them to look at money differently?
Yeah, a lot of it comes to like self-discovery is the first thing. You really need to kind of get in tune or in touch with like, how do you think about money now? How do you relate to it? So I often have people do this money story activity where they go through like from their first memory with money to present and go through that and identify the different experiences when they were a child mainly.
Yep.
How their parents dealt with money. Was there a lot of fear? Did they constantly live like in the broke mentality, or was money like just abundant and kind of loose, and so people didn't pay attention? But you have to do some self-discovery to kind of figure out for yourself, how are you relating to money now? And then if you find that it's more negative or more stressed out, then what I say is, this is where a lot of like, self-help tools come in with awareness during the day. Like if you have that panic or fear about money, then watch, okay, well, where's that coming from? Is it real? Like, center yourself. I do a lot of meditation to have awareness in my life and not go into those negative spins of the mind. And then I always tell people, it's not enough to say, I'm never going to get stressed out about money again. That's kind of not real. But when you do get stressed out, then say, okay, what are the tools right now to ground myself, to calm myself, to get back in touch with the abundance of the world, with the positive mindset of how I want to be with my money moving forward? Because when you can kind of get in that framework, right, you're more centered and more clear. And then you could take just the next step. That's it. Just one step. That's it. Because sometimes I think with money, not sometimes, most of the time, it's so overwhelming because we think about the future. I need 10 million for retirement. I need 1 million for retirement. It's so overwhelming, all the things you have to do. So I would say, look, find awareness in your day. Just identify if you go into the negative spin, find new affirmations, new ways to be with your money. Feel good if you just made one simple shift in the day. That's amazing. And then it's a practice. So every day, you're practicing and practicing and practicing. Eventually, you're going to change the way you are operating in your mindset with money. But it does take a commitment. And you got to hang in there, because it's not, like I said, I always think like money is a game, and then you master this level, and then you get into this level, and then there's all these new challenges, and then you like same kind of thing, like, okay, how am I going to deal with all this, not get overwhelmed and stressed by all these new things that I've never experienced, but remember all that you've created thus far.
I love that. I mean, it's a mindset like anything else. Like when you have to go on a diet, you have to create discipline, or anything that you do in life. And if you don't practice it, and meditation is a great way, meditation is a great way to just relax and handle anything in your life, but it's a great way to ground you a little bit and help you to focus on what you have to do to change the way you think about money. So I love that. I also read that you tell your clients it's okay to buy the shoes. And I know I always have this, with clients about a budget and looking at where they spend their money, and they think that means put away everything they have and they can't live. So what do you mean by telling them that they could go ahead and buy those shoes?
I say this in a way that gives people the freedom back and the control to make their own decisions. Look, we're all adults. So if you want to buy yourself something nice, whether it's shoes or a purse or go on a trip, I mean, I know that's hard now, but these things that will bring enjoyment to your life, then you consciously choose to make that happen. And that means you maybe sacrifice over here, but enjoying your money and finding ways to enjoy it during your life is so important, because I think, like you're saying, like a budget is like a diet. People like correlate these two. And if you're on such restrictive diet, one, that's like the extreme mentality, and you're going to like then binge or, fall off and then never do it again. And it's too extreme. So I say you need to learn a balance. This is a lifestyle. Have a budget, have automatic savings going towards your goals, and then figure out with awareness how you can reach the goals or buy the things that you want and feel good about it, because I think so many people do this thing where like they buy something, then they feel guilty. And it's like, well, you're the one who bought it. So why are you choosing to feel guilt? Like find a way to manage your money so you're in control. Then you make an adult decision. I'm going to buy these shoes. This is the example. Feel good because I know I did all these other things, and that's the choice I made, So I think it's just like giving people that power back. No one's a victim. And I feel like if we can really help people understand, everybody comes from a different, obviously, upbringing with money, different financial status. But the reality is we all can make the choice, no matter how hard it is, no matter how devastating your financial life looks right now. And we know this. We've heard stories, people from nothing to all of this to
Yep.
nothing again,
Yep.
So it is possible. And I always like to give people that power back, and instead of feeling like, oh, I can't buy the shoes, or I'm miserable my whole life because I'm saving for retirement. I mean, to me,
Yep.
that's just not a good way to live.
Yep, yep. It's a lifestyle, like you said, and like when you go on a diet, the worst thing to do is to tell somebody, okay, you cannot have any of this, you can't have any of that. What happens? You deprive yourself, and all of a sudden now you binge eat in the closet from 7 o'clock at night until midnight.
It's true.
It's
Yeah, and it
true.
really takes, and if you are someone who has that guilt, like I remember in the beginning of my career, I had to work through the guilt too. Like, oh, it's okay to spend money on myself. Like that is
Yep,
okay.
yep,
And
yep.
now I feel confident with it because I have tools, I have systems, I know what's, reasonable, what's just reckless. You know what I mean?
Right. You learned, and
You
you
learn.
learned a
Yeah.
budget. You could take from one place and give to another to buy those shoes. And you talk about self-care and investing in yourself is key. And I agree with you 100%. So how do you explain to your clients about self-care and how important it is?
I think especially for women, that was one of the things that in early in my career I would notice, like when people had to like maybe reduce spending to find money to save for their goals like retirement. The first thing that women would cut out was like all their like gym membership, like the things that they needed to just feel good. And I would always argue, but why? Like let's find a way to make it work, because you're your most important asset. I don't care how much money you have. If you don't have your health and well-being, it doesn't
Nothing.
matter. Like, that is number one, like your health. And I think we're seeing this, obviously, given the year, everybody has this on their forefront. But I've had so many like health experiences in my life where I'm like, it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you don't have your health, it doesn't matter. So take care of yourself. And I think just because we live in this fast-paced modern world, and think, especially this year, so much has changed. Your mental health, your ability to like, we talked about it. The financial stress causes medical issues. So
Yep.
if you're not taking care of yourself, carving out time, carving out some money every month, to whether it is just going on walks daily, therapy, meditation retreats,
Yep.
especially women, like feel good if you need to do like, whatever, nails, massage, like
Yep.
whatever it is, make it happen, because you're that precious, and it's that important.
Exactly. You're worth it. And if you take all that other stuff away, you don't feel well, you're not going to do well. If you can't
Yeah.
fix your skin or your meditation or, work out in some way, you're not going to feel good about yourself. You're not going to do good anyway, which financially is going to send you in the reverse. So everything starts with self care.
It really does. And I think especially now, self-care is so important, and it doesn't need to cost you a lot of money. I mean, there's so
Yep.
many ways to do the self-care that we need, without even spending any money. Like I do a lot of walks out in nature,
Yep.
just, connecting to the outside, all the things that we can do really add up. Because nobody wants to eventually get to their goals, like say retirement, and then
Not well anyway.
you can't enjoy it. Yeah.
100%, 100%. So before I let you go, I just want to ask you one question. I don't want to, I know a lot of stuff that we've been talking about for the last 8 months basically has a lot to do with the pandemic and COVID, but it is a reality. And I know people ask us a lot of questions that are based on that because of what their reality is. So what would be like a quick tip, a quick piece of advice that you would give your own clients during this turbulent time?
I would say now, I mean, I would say this every year, but now more than ever, this time of year is such a good time to reevaluate your entire financial situation. So
Yes.
look at everything. Look at your budget. Did you lose income? Did you have more expenses? Did you relocate? Did you acquire debt because
Yeah.
you needed to take
Did
care of things?
you lose your job?
Did you lose your job? What does your retirement assets look like? What savings do you have? Like, just do an evaluation of everything. Not, and if it is not looking too good, don't feel bad. Just say, okay, this is what happened. now what can I do from here moving forward? So reevaluate, because a lot of people changed, and it wasn't always negative. Like we had a lot of people who actually had many opportunities or bought, another property. So it could be like positive too. Your business doubled, you bought another property. So reevaluate. Everybody needs to reevaluate. This time of year, it's so critical. Look at insurance, look at estate planning documents, look
Yep.
at savings, debt, and just say, wow, what a year. First of all, we should all just be patting ourselves on the back that we're just like still,
Yep.
handling, talk about resilience. Every day we were like, whoa, now what? Now what? And I think, find any way to celebrate the good stuff, because I know gratitude and celebration for me in my life, gratitude goes so far. And it just kind of connects me back to, like, instead of feeling, oh, I didn't do all these things, or look how all these things aren't here, I focus to, wow, but look at all that has been here. And like, even just acknowledging the fact that we are resilient is such a thing to celebrate. And
Showing up.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for that. Thank you for joining me. It was a lot of fun. I hope everybody takes these tips to heart. Where could people find you if they want to get in touch with you, Brittney?
Yes, please come over to financiallywiseinc.com. All my information's there. All our services are there. Financial planning. I do a lot of speaking. If you want some helpful tips, you can follow me on Instagram too, at Brittney Castro.
I love that. Thank you so much for everything that you shared with us today. And I hope to talk to you again in the future and get some more tips
Love that.
from you.
Would love it.
Take
Thank you
care.
so much.